A very warm welcome to each and every person present over here. With the developments that we are seeing nowadays in the world, the enhancing technologies, the ever-changing ways of research, the rising competition in the world, it has become really hard for the legal fraternity, especially, be it the students or the teachers or the professors and let's say the professional advocates itself, to, reach to a common level or reach to a common ground of knowledge. Now, when I say knowledge, there is one very determinant factor to this particular term knowledge, and that is the research and the way you execute your research. And it is with that intention that, the concept of research methodology as a subject and the concept of publications, the concept of, let's say, student law reviews that we have today came up. The efficiency noticed through the development of research or cultivating the ideology of research in a college was much higher than pushing a lot of knowledge into the memory of students. So that fine line of difference between memory and the knowledge of students was cut through the mode of researches. And that is why we are here today, and that is why we are all gathered today. A very warm welcome to each and every soul present over here. My name is Rahul, and we'll be starting the day with the college anthem. And yes, now we'll be starting the day with the college anthem now. Proud to be a part of Christ Academy, and that strength will always lie within me. Now, with that done, I would like to call upon Surima, the convener of Research and Publication Committee, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Rahul. A very good afternoon to Father Babu Paul, CMI Manager, Christ Academy Education Institution, Principal, Christ Academy Institute of Advanced Studies, Dr. Father Davis Panadan, Principal, Christ Academy Institute of Law, Professor Dr. Soman, HOD, Christ Academy Institute of Law, Dr. Shini John, Academic Coordinator, Christ Academy Institute of Law, authors, teachers, and my dear friends. On the behalf of Research and Publication Committee, I would like to heartily welcome every one of you to the release of inaugural issue of Nyāya Lekhanī, Kyle Student Law Review, and the second edition of NYAYAVANI, The Voice of Justice, Kyle newsletter. I am feeling extremely honored to be a part of this committee and welcoming everyone in this grand celebration. The committee would like to convey special thanks to Mr. Rahul Madatil for his diligence, commitment to edit the inaugural issue of Nyāya Lekhanī, the Kyle Student Law Review. The committee has now completed Volume 1 of Nyāya Lekhanī, Student Law Review, after hours of hard work and days of coordination with substantial cooperation from all the individuals. More importantly, one of the most coveted abilities in the field of law is the development of perception, and the ability to communicate it to the art of writing is yet another milestone that students should strive for through active involvement and training. Also, it gives me an immense pleasure to launch a second edition of newsletter of Christ Academy Institute of Law, NYAYAVANI, The Voice of Justice. The newsletter is a small and a humble attempt to fulfill the objective and promoting the research and learning of the students of Kyle. We hope that it would create our opinions and our idea as a law student. Lastly, I congratulate you all on your achievement entirely. Thank you. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Surima. Before proceeding, I would like to start with a brief introduction on what exactly we are planning with the student law review. Now, whenever we speak about a student law review, it's often, misjudged to be a part of the journal or maybe the journal itself. But however, the difference here is that, as I mentioned earlier, the perspective of a student or the research abilities of a student is more enhanced. It's explicitly shown through the use of a student law review as a student, puts on his time and efforts into a particular legislature, let's say a particular, a topic in that particular field. So the best part about the student law review that we have in our hand right now is the vividity of topics that we have in our hand. Now, if you go through the student law review that we have published in 2022, Nyāya Lekhanī, you'll notice that the topics that have been brought in have been varied from different parts, different situations, different circumstances. Let's say, for example, there are topics based on child marriage. We have topics on the the necessity to reform the legislative processes in India. So these are all social topics with social importance or a high value of importance in the society generally. So safety and security of women in workplaces. These are all, even though these are topics that have been spoken about in the past, they do have a different aspect or they do have a different viewpoint to that. So this becomes the strength of students, the privilege of being a student. They have the ability. It's often said that students are still learning, and one thing that comes with learning is doing mistakes, and doing mistakes is what makes a person better. So this aspect of this privilege of doing the mistake is the actual strength of a student, because that is what he's supposed to do: make mistakes, commit mistakes, and learn. So, that's the whole natural way of, the nature's way of teaching a student on what exactly has to be done. So, Nyāya Lekhanī, when the first idea came into the mind, certainly I was not a part of the committee back then. However, as soon as I joined into the committee, I realized that the spontaneity is one of the most important things that we have to keep in mind. The particular topic that we choose has to be in relation with the time. So that successfully was accomplished by the committee, and I, wholeheartedly appreciate the committee for being able to do that. Yes, an event which was actually supposed to be conducted offline, of course, is being conducted online. So that thing is always there within us. However, we believe that we should always make use of all the opportunities that we have. So we continue with that. So we do have papers coming from different authors. I think all the authors are present over here with us in the meeting. And with the release, I'm certain that you will be having a very, very good knowledge about each and every topic that is being covered by them. So that's all about Nyāya Lekhanī. I would now like to call upon Deepthi Srivastava for a brief introduction about what exactly NYAYAVANI, the newsletter of the second edition of newsletter is, and we'll proceed there on after that.
A very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the release of NYAYAVANI for the year 2022. The newsletter committee is delighted to announce that Kyle is releasing today the second edition of biannual newsletter of Kyle, that is NYAYAVANI, as an earnest endeavor to encourage and document the academic achievements and expression of student ideas. The Kyle newsletter does not limit itself to just the documentation aspect. Rather, it is all about interaction. It's important that readers feel like there's an opportunity for open communication. And this is the reason why newsletter is named as NYAYAVANI, as it advocates the voice of justice. NYAYAVANI is a platform established by Kyle that aspires the students to showcase their knowledge and pen down their innovative ideas. It is intended to bring out the hidden literary talents in the students to inculcate strong research culture. The idea of NYAYAVANI is to disseminate the information about our institute, and we hope that the readers find it informative and useful. NYAYAVANI is one of the mediums to keep the students on board with the academic curriculum. It facilitates the communication process by inserting all the students' updates, events, and changes. It is one of the initiatives taken by Kyle that is devoted in the mission of promoting quality research. Nyāyavani is the emblem of the fact that despite of the hard times given by COVID, the students at Kyle never fail at their academic proficiency. In fact, the students have been actively engaged in different academic programs along with their academic classes and academic duties. I hope that Nyāyavani will serve the purpose of reflecting all the activities of the Kyle, and I congratulate everyone present here on its release. Thank you. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Deepthi. Now, I would like to request Dr. Father Babu Paul to release the Nyāya Lekhanī and Nyāyavani, the first edition of the Student Law Review of Kyle and the second edition of the newsletter from Christ Academy Institute of Law. Sir.
Okay, I hope I am audible enough. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, thank you. Reverend Dr. Davis, the principal of Christ Academy Institute of Law, Dr. Stroman, Dr. Sini, faculty members of the administrative staff, and the student volunteers, yes, Rahul, Surima, and Deepthi, and also the team, the research and publication committee, all students, and my dear friends. I'm really happy to be a part of this releasing ceremony, and as such, I feel that it's rather a good occasion, though it's online, to come together with a new venture like Nyāya Lekhanī, what we call this law review. And we have had rather ample introduction to what it serves the purpose and what it is meant for, and what is the platform. All those things we have already been informed of. And also along with that is nonetheless less important one, what we have is the annual and the publication committee, and also the teachers who have been giving them rather good guidance and insight so that they would be able to go in the right direction and coming up with the versions, the latest version of the Voice of Justice, and also the first enterprising initiative, what we call the law review, Nyāya Lekhanī. Nowadays, all of us know that the importance of research there in the higher education institutions. Apart from teaching, instruction, and learning, research has become a rather compelling priority for any of the higher education institution, for that matter. Whether it is there in the law, whether it's in management, commerce, anything of any stream, regardless of its application, I'm sure that it has much importance there. And as such, the higher educational institutions are giving, rather, I'm not using the word inordinate, but rather significant importance there for such a beginning. Law review, of course, that is a research mechanism that develops a kind of research culture there in the institution. And I think it's the right time, as we are moving on there with the undergrad programs there to the masters and the research there in the coming years. We should have a rather firm foundation with which we will be able to build it upon there in later years. And this will definitely instill in certain research acumen there in the minds of the students. They will be able to try, they will be able to have scientific writing experience, and as such would be getting published therein. And it's really a proud moment for the Law Academy, so that the students and the faculty members would be able to get a platform so that they would be able to express themselves and by way of reviews. And also, as such, that will extend a rather reading research culture there in the institution. Of course, the content it matters, I'm sure about that, is it will be pertaining to more or less the topics related to your legal studies, and also as such the cultural studies related to, mostly related to the major slice of life in society. And I appreciate that one. Actually, this is a good initiative that is there from under the leadership of Dr. Father Davis, and also the academic coordinators and the students, student volunteers as such. Really, they deserve appreciation, the research and the publication committee, and also who have been working there behind it. And another one is, of course, annual e-newsletter, Nyāyavani, the Voice of Justice. Nowadays, yes, if at all you have been going by the statistics and accounts, most of the campuses in India and abroad, 20 to 25% of information being disseminated there to the stakeholders through the e-newsletters. Many of the institutions, many of the universities here in India and abroad as well, they have a rather powerful mechanism there in place so that they would be able to reach out to the society at large. And here also, I feel that it's moving on there with the second volume of the release of this particular e-newsletter. And I'm sure that, yes, that would be rather a powerful platform for the students and the faculty to voice their opinions, their ideas, and as such, that will conform there with the voice of justice. I do appreciate the whole team. Now, coming there to the students part of it, and also the stakeholders part of it. Yes, what voice, what do you have there in these two both the endeavors? What should be the type of attitude with which you have to look upon and make use of this platform there in an entirely beneficial way? I feel that, yes, there are much things there too. Many of you, the other day, one of my friends suggested me to read one of the books. Many of you might be familiar there with the 21 Lessons for 21st Century. I hope you are at least familiar with the title, written by one of the Israelite order, this Harari. Mostly you might be heard of. And we had lots of reviews on that one, and also lots of discussions took place. It was one of the bestsellers, hit the headlines of the media in 2018. And as such, yes, that gives us rather good insight, as the title suggests. Of course, it is a collection of essays, themed essays on various topics: history, culture, religion, politics, education. It goes on and on. What I noticed, we had a rather good lengthy discussion on this particular one with my friend. I did enjoy that one. One of the chapters say, how do we live in an age of bewilderment? And as such, yes, that he goes on telling that, yes, stories collapse and we don't have any new stories or myths that played a rather integral part of building up culture and giving new parameters there for the development of culture in society. And as such, he goes on with the descriptions now. But at the same time, with all the discussions somehow boiled down upon to a particular point, he offers a kind of solution, as if saying that, okay, meditation is the panacea or answer for all the problems, all the ills of the world. We all of us know that it's not the all-one solution for all the problems that we face there in the world. But at the same time, it has its own importance. Why he made an insight on this one? Because he practiced at least 2 hours every day, meditation, personal reflection, and a long day every month for meditation, just for recollection, a kind of retreat, going back into his life and just reflecting upon, thinking things that somehow makes him rather sensible and made him rather relevant to the present world. And as it is, of course, the meditation is important, but we know that, yes, we need to have a reflection, we need to have thinking, contemplation, brooding over issues and all. We have to have another crystallizing of our thoughts, and as such, we should develop critical thinking there in our as a kind of lifestyle. He insists on 2 points for the coming up generations when we move on there with the 21st century. Of course, that's the title of this 21 Lessons for 21st Century. Definitely gives us a rather, just boiling down the whole point there too, for the youngsters, for the coming up generation, there to 2 major points. First one is something with regard to, it should be an occasion, learning experience to know oneself. It is not a new wisdom that came all on a sudden. All of us know that. It's an age-old sensical wisdom that's somehow been practiced by people. Know thyself, know oneself, so that we'll be able to make ourselves fine-tuned with the challenges of the new world. That's what first one. Second one is the kind of equipping, the fine-tuning of ourselves in order to equip ourselves to make ourselves sensible and relevant in this modern world. So this meditation or breathing or the reflection somehow should confine the thinking pattern of the new generation, so that they will be able to make themselves known to be able to make themselves relevant there for the coming up challenges in the coming world. I feel that yes, campus is often been serving as a platform for what we call aversion thinking there, more or less. And we know that it's not that a rather peaceful, rather stagnant ambience that prevails there in the campus nowadays. We know that the ripples that we have by way of new thinking, new initiatives, innovative patterns that we adopt there in teaching, learning, all these things somehow had its own repercussions there to the rest of the, the largest slices of society. And as such, I feel that's the right platform and the right time for the people to develop that acumen, that type of thinking, that critical patterns that with which you'd be able to assess the things and come to a kind of conclusion as such on the basis of reflections. And the campus, yes, should be opened in such a way, and people should be able to, or we should make the people there in such a way to learn, to practice critical thinking. And these two aspects, that's what I thought, definitely plays much role there in these two major events that we are going to have it by way of a law review. It's a new initiative, and also something that is going to become the voice of justice, as if it has been there, just like a voice of wilderness, as we read in the Bible, the voice of John the Baptist. It is not meant for someone or specifically a particular to hit at that particular point. Not at all. It has been, yes, you have something to say, and yes, you are ready to say it so loud. And sometimes that becomes a voice of the voiceless. Sometimes it becomes there a kind of voice in the wilderness. But definitely, such things won't go unnoticed. That's what the experience so far, history so far proved, the campuses so far proved, youngsters so far proved. So I feel that these two that assumes lots of importance therein in the student life, in the campus. Apart from learning and apart from that, just getting high scores and all, of course, those things matter a lot. I do agree with that. But what matters, yes, once you are there off the campus, something that should equip you this as such, so that you should be able to fine-tune yourself in order to face the challenges, so that you should be able to just look back into yourselves and know the potentials each one has. So I feel that these two mechanisms in place definitely would be of help there for the student and the faculty community there in Christ Academy Institute of Law. And the initiative definitely will find its fruits there in the years to come. I have a word of caution, since I have been involved there in the research reviewing. I've been at least, yes, every year I've been getting research review there from Poland, Rockland University and Salamanca, Spain. I've been doing it at least minimum 5. It's a little bit of a laborious work, we know that. It's a time-bound work. It should be done there in time with a meticulous effort that we have to by putting in. And as such, it should be a kind of what we call the refined language, taking or doing justice to the content. So when we start something, I feel that it should not go, it should not live then halfway through. It should be continued all throughout, and it should be with all effort made every year with a certain amount of quality improvement. And also that will definitely give the students a kind of training for scientific writing. We, of course, we have our own ways of writing things and all, but I feel that yes, students should be actually calmed in such a way they should be able to fine-tune the skills of writing with a precise scientific way. That also is another side product of this type of e-newsletters and all. So today, as we enterprise law review, Nyāya Lekhanī, and also going there with the biannual, that which is the second volume, what we call the Voice of Justice, is NYAYAVANI. I do appreciate and extend congratulations to all the people who have been working as a team, and that should be continued all throughout. And I do appreciate the type of teamwork that prevails under the leadership of Father Davis and also the academic coordinators and the department heads. And as such, yes, it's a rather good platform that you have made and well thought out one that will be very well useful for the student community. I'm sure about that. So with these words of appreciation and congratulation, with the permission of all the people and consent, I officially declare this student law review, Nyāya Lekhanī, officially released. Along with that, yes, I declare the biannual e-newsletter of its second volume officially released. Let it be the voice of justice, and let this law review be a part of each and every student as a companion. They should be able to think about in a positive way. Even I wish you all the best, and I wish you God's blessings as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, how exactly do you live in the age of bewilderness? I'm sure I myself might write a paper on that exact purpose. So, anyways, it's honest so that we can move better ahead.
Dr. Father Babu, Chief Guest of today, faculty members, administrative staff, and my dear students, SPA members, and well-wishers, we at Christ Academy Institute of Law are in pursuit of a dynamic environment that promotes holistic development of students. A focus on holistic education impetus on quality, educational pedagogy based on values and social commitment are the significant aims of CMI educational philosophy. KAIL has set its sight on contributing to the much desired quality legal education. A group of dedicated academicians are focused to carve a niche for this law college towards such a mission. This is possible with active participation of motivated student community walk the extra mile. Nurturing imagination and inspiring novelty are two of the key elements of successful education, and a college law review is the perfect amalgamation of both. It harnesses the creative energies of the academic community and distills the essence of their inspired imagination in the most brilliant way possible. It is with profound pleasure, humility, and anticipation that we celebrate the launch of online journal Nyāya Lekhanī, student-edited law review of legal scholarship with this inaugural issue. On Christ Academy Institute of Law Student Law Review. Importantly, it aims to get insights from its readers, improve and excel. Nyaya is not just a slogan. It means that realization of all the different aspects of human life and takes into account all the relevant factors. Nyaya relates to the enforcement of law and regulation. Nyaya refers to a comprehensive concept of realized justice, which is inescapably linked with the world that actually emerges, not just the institution or rules that we happen to have, but it values fairness that is highly attractive in the justice dispensing system. Nyāya Lekhanī is a stimulating process involved which will lead to comprehensive outcome of holistic growth of human person in the society. It's about realization of needy by reviews of rules and institutions of our nation, which stimulates young minds of our institution and citizens. I take this opportunity to thank our authors, editors, and anonymous reviewers, all of whom have volunteered to contribute to the success of the Law Review in its current format. Welcome to the inaugural edition of Nyāya Lekhanī, Christ Academy Institute of Law Students Law Review, and extend my sincere thanks to all who work hard for this venture. Thank you.
Thank you for your words, Father. I would like to call upon Professor Dr. Soman Enes, the Head of Department, Christ Academy Institute of Law, for his kind words and his blessings, and more importantly, his insights on what he perceives, what he sees, views through the Nyāya Lekhanī and Nyāyavani for Christ Academy Institute of Law.
Soman sir, unmute. Soman sir, unmute.
Sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Father Manager of the Academy, Father Davis Manager, our Principal, Singing, my colleagues, and your students. I'm really happy to be a part of this inaugural ceremony of the Nyāya Lekhanī and the launching of Nyāyavani. I may say that the real learning takes place when you learn something to communicate to others. The real learning as a teacher is learning to teach. For anybody else who has not been in the profession of teaching, but when you are being learning to communicate the ideas, that will be a real learning, because you will be always been asking a lot of questions to yourself. And also you will be really been worried whether the things which you have been scribbling is being communicated to others. So in that level, the threadbare analysis of the issues which you have been confronting, then doing the necessary research to collect information which is required for presenting the ideas, and the skill of presenting it. In that level, writing is an effective way of learning. And we also put it as a part of our academic venture to present the ideas through write-ups to the teachers, which if you are being a little bit more serious about doing the necessary research and collection of ideas, you will be able to develop the skill of writing, the art of doing a research, and also the technical way in which how to cite some of the materials, which obviously are lessons we learned, and to be more practical and more truthful to the presentation of your ideas. So in that level, this is a real good venture, wherein you will get a platform wherein you will be able to do research and formulate the ideas, innovate the ideas, or the ideas which have been scattered in brought together and communicated to others. This is also been a real service at that level. It's also been a good way of learning the things in the proper light. So the way in which you communicate, the way in which you write, is more the real skill which has to be developed. I still remember for me the first advice which I got is from my senior Isaac Thomas, so very famous lawyer in Peru, because I used to read a lot of materials in his office. And he said, "Why can you write?" I said, really been shocked. Can I write? Because I had never realized that I could write something. But gradually that realization came when I put it down in black and white. So to my teachers, they get it corrected and they said, "It's okay, good, you can go ahead." Or sending me back by saying, "These are the suggestions which I give, please make alterations." There is through this process we learn how to present an idea. that level, I think you can also get the help of your teachers by when you're scribbling something. Show it to them without any hesitation and ask them whether it be okay or which way in which you. This is really be a learning experience for all of us. Not only for the students, it's for even teachers. For it's a good learning experience to collect materials, digest it, and present it in academic form to the rest of the world. I think this is a really good venture on the part of the institution. And I really congratulate all those who are behind it, all the students who take campaign to make it realized and put it in a real form to get it released today. My record of appreciation, congratulations, and my expectation that it be continued uninterruptedly in the coming years also. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for your words, sir. Now, with this, we have reached to the final parts of the release of Nyāya Lekhanī and Nyāyavani, being the student law review of Christ Academy Institute of Law and the newsletter for Christ Academy Institute of Law. Now, I would like to call upon Harshit Jain, the co-convener of Research and Publication Committee, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rahul. A very good afternoon to all respected guests here, and a warm greeting of the day to all my fellow college mates and faculty. It's an honor and privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks for today's event. On behalf of the whole Research and Publication Committee, I, Harshit Jain, would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Father Babu Paul, for taking out time from his busy schedule and releasing the publications. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude towards our beloved principal, Dr. Father Davis Panadin, our HOD, Dr. Soman N., our academic coordinator, Dr. Sini John, and our Research and Publication Committee teacher convener, Dr. Salini, and all the member faculties and the student members of the committee. Their constant support and encouragement at every step has led us to accomplish today's event with ease and grace. Last but not the least, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the unconditional support and efforts of the staff, and especially the students who have contributed their work and also for their presence in today's event. Where we stand today, we see a combination of hard work and unhinged effort. I would like to end with a quote: chase success, chase excellence, success will follow. Once again, a thank you very much. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Harshit. With that, we have come to the end of the ceremony today. Before we wind up, it becomes extremely important for me to mention the hard work that has gone by the authors, as Harshit mentioned. It's with the limited time we had, we have tried to portray all of the important works, and we are looking forward for more write-ups, as much as write-ups as possible in the upcoming events. This will help us, be better, as all of our dignitaries spoke about. So with that, we've come to the end of the event, and I would like to request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you for being present, everyone. I request everyone to